It's my first one of 2016. Waited a bit. I had to find something worth reviewing, first of all. And second of all, well, we'll get to that in the next one. Last time I reviewed an album by this band, I wanted to claw my own eyes out, which really doesn't make much sense because I was listening to it. So then you just have no eyes and running around with just hearing all the bad music. I like to pretend that I have no reason to have ever paid any mind to this band. I like to pretend that so much that we'll see how much this muscle memory works. Alright, here's the test.
I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door?
Oh, it's painful because I remember all the words. That song, it's a painful memory of my insecurity as a music fan, but everyone has that. It was a part of high school, and it was a part of middle school. It was just there. I think it was 2005 at the time, so it was just a bridge between the two. And that song was everywhere. You can tell me you don't know the words, but haven't you heard, close the goddamn door is on everyone's lips. Just close the goddamn door. No more panic. Just close the door. Honestly, see, I can't even do it without the music, but as soon as the music starts playing, it's just like, bam, I know every word. Anyway, we're going to do some Panic at the Disco reviews because the last time I did this, it was so painful, and I've been told that I should stop reviewing things that I only like. So we're going to review a thing I thought maybe I wouldn't like. We'll find out whether that was true or not. So here is some history before we dive into this on some Panic at the Disco. Anyway, they're a band formed in 2004 in Las Vegas, around the time I was talking about with that song. They've been around 12 years now. God, that makes me feel old. They're formed with Ryan Ross, Spencer Smith, Brett Wilson, and Brendan Urie. Brendan Urie is actually now the only remaining member of the band. They got famous off the lead single, I Write Sins Not Tragedies. The album, of course, now certified double platinum because it was huge. It was a big thing. Following the album, in 2008, they went on to make a whole new sounding album called Pretty Odd, which I actually really liked because it was so different and weird. And then they wanted to just change their sound back to the old style again, and that caused the former leading songwriter and Ryan Ross and guitar player and bass player John Walker to leave the band because they really liked the new sound. But Brendan Urie and Spencer Smith decided they wanted to go back to the old sound, so they lost half their band on that one because they really had a new sound they liked. The third album, Vices and Virtues, went back to that vaudevillian pop sound, and in 2013 they released Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die, a dubstep, synthy, dark, horrible pop album that I just hated. Anyway, Spencer Smith left after that album, and leaving Brendan as the only artist on this attached to the name. It's now a solo artist project, pretty much. This leads us to Death of a Bachelor. Anyway, it actually began with his getting married. This album was written previously to him getting married, so some people, when they get married, they throw a bachelor party. Some people have an album entirely relating to the death of their bachelorhood. Some people are more dramatic than others. We've seen the Sins tragedy video. Some people write, books, memoirs. Some people just write emo big hits and go on MTV for a week. We all have different lives. No way to judge. Anyway, this is my ride-through of Death of a Bachelor. Victorious opens with this background chorus of female voices before the pop party anthem starts. It's kind of like the pre-game song. Again, this will be a huge pop hit. It's going to be in nightclubs and dance clubs everywhere. It's just one of those kind of pop songs that people play along with all the hits. It's a song about a hangover from a night of partying on the verge of a big life change. It's very witty in his lyrics here. I don't know, he's always been witty. It's one of the things he's been great at. Even if you don't like his music, he's witty and he's got a great voice. It's driven by a lot of beats and DJ samples. It's not good, it's not bad, but it's a song that's going to seriously rock for a lot of people that like pop rock and this kind of style. People are going to love it. It's not so much my thing, but it's going to work. I think people will love this. The next song, Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time, samples Rock Lobster strangely and way too many times. The lyrics here are clever, but the music just doesn't keep up with his wit. It's more of a modern pop song with DJ sounds and Rock Lobster, lots of it, samples thrown in. Hallelujah is the next one, which starts with horns and then explodes into this huge chorus with Brendan on vocals, of course, singing. He's singing a lot of different ranges here, and I think he shines on this album almost more than any others with vocal talent. It's pretty impressive, honestly. The song is destined to become a drunken sing-along or a future ringtone. The song is just dance club pop fusion. It's heavily beat-friendly, and it's just, I don't know. It's a lot better than a lot of the other songs on the album, and it stands out because of that. The next song is called Emperor's New Clothes, which I got excited at first when I saw it because I thought it was a reference to the Emperor's New Groove, which it's actually not, and it's just a pop song, so I'm sorry, it's not that exciting. Anyway, it continues where the album took off. It's a very different party anthem than the rest of the album. It's, again, a pre-gaming, drinking, dancing song. Admittedly not my thing, but the choruses are huge and they're very catchy. The lyrics are still clever, and people will eat this shit up. It's also kind of got a very strange Nightmare Before Christmas sounding sample right in the middle of it that kind of just like, what did I just hear? One of those moments. But it's definitely there. It's there. I've heard it. Death of a Bachelor is the title track, and it's a very different song from the rest of the album, combining like jazz lounge singing with modern pop and dance beats. I like this song for its weirdness and for the fact that it actually really works. He sings huge high notes here, and it helps the track stand out from the rest of the album. This is a song I actually really like. It may be a guilty pleasure, but I actually think it's a good song and an album highlight. The next one continues here. It's called Crazy Equals Genius. It follows another jazz song, sort of, but in a very different style of jazz. It's an insanely catchy pop-punk-infused jazz song. It's much more pop-punk than the last. It's about how many famously crazy people were just insanely talented, you know? Brian Wilson is insane, but he's also insanely talented. It kind of follows that chain of thought. He's saying he's insane because he likes to burn things down, so therefore he must be very talented. It's an argument to be made, I suppose. It's not a great one. Just because you light things on fire does not mean that you're a pop genius. There is a difference. He can write a song, though, I'll give him that. The song really shines through with the jazz horns and fun DJ samples. Again, I like the song for its weirdness. I think that's where the band really shines. It's kind of like Pretty Odd that I really liked. It's a highlight for sure. LA Devotee is a song about a love letter to Los Angeles after he moved here from Las Vegas. This song abandoned the jazz for more pop sound with DJ samples again. Golden Days is a straight-up pop song. It sounds like it could have come off of any album. Picture Katy Perry singing it. If it was female vocals, it would fit there. It's also one of my least favorites because of that. It's just so bland and generic. It really doesn't do anything for me, but it'll play on the radio like the rest of the album. The Good, the Bad, and the Dirty is another highly DJ-sampled modern pop song, but about death in general. The song does have to be one of the more clever songs lyric-wise. It's very witty on here. I think that he plays to the death aspect of this very interestingly. The next one is called House of Memories. It features Dylan Schwab. It's a very synth-driven song with insanely catchy. I honestly just try to get out of your head. It's like a brain leech. Just stays there in the back of your head. I'm talking like Super Metroid and stuff, just on my head. Won't go away. Brendan's looking back on the past of his life and romances and the parties as he reminisces about things he will never get to experience again. I mean, he really goes all out on this, killing his persona to be married. He must have been a hell of a partier. The final song is called Impossible Year. It's the last song on the album, and it's very different from the other sort of songs. It's straightforward lounge singer ballad. It's a beautiful song that really shows how talented Brendan is. The album really comes to this huge conceptual close about death and bachelorhood and a persona of his married life. Its final song is a eulogy. I mean, it fits. It's also a really good song. I expected to not like this album. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either, so there's that. I mean, you know, just things aren't like they were on the last one. They're not that bad. They took a huge shift in style from the last one. Thank God. This will serve as a more commercial comeback for the band. They're going to be on the radio after this one. They were a little on the last album, but not a lot of new fans picked that up. It was kind of just the fans that already liked them, which was a decent audience. But I think this will majorly jump them up to like Fall Out Boy re-evaluation levels, like just pop hits all over this. It's a pop album, but they somehow managed to fuse in glam and jazz, electric, and lounge styles all over it. It's really kind of impressive. As the only sole member, Brendan, vocally, he shines here like never before, honestly. His some serious range has never been better. It's destined for radio play and dance floor play. It's going to have so much play in the future. It's very witty, and it's still very, you know, it's got enough weird musical diversions for a casual music fan and Panic fans alike. It may not be the best album they've written. Honestly, I think that's pretty odd. Some people would say the first one. A lot of people would say the first one. But it's not the worst chapter for them, and it's not the best. It's just a nice checkpoint for a worthy pop punk band. Anyway, check out Death of a Bachelor, Crazy Genius, House of Memories, and Impossible Year. But if you like Panic, you're going to check out them all and you're going to love it. For me, it's 3 out of 5. If you like Panic, probably a lot more. Anyway, thanks. I'm going to have to do the hardest review of the year coming next. It's David Bowie.